Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's up?
Well, man, nothing much. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a jam-packed show today. I'm not going to talk too much. We're just going to get right into it. My name is Corey Hilliard. The man next to me is Brandon Hill, a.k.a. B Hill, a.k.a. V. We are the House Divided. Thank you for joining us. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. If this is your first time, mi casa, su casa. And whether it's your first time or you've been here before, we got to go over the house rules. B, you got them.
You already know what time it is around here, guys. If you guys aren't already, hop down there. You know that little red button that says subscribe? Go ahead and hit that for us. And then if you don't mind, go ahead and punch that like button too if you like the content that you're hearing and what you're seeing. And another thing is, go ahead and hit that notification bell so you guys can be up to date on all our newest content that we are going to be dropping, because just as soon as tomorrow night, we're going to be recording a basketball NBA show for you guys, and then college basketball after that. So all that's about to start ramping up as well. And then the best thing that we always mention that we want you guys to do, hop down there in those comment boxes. Leave us your comments, good, bad, good, right, wrong, and different. I don't care one way or another. We just want to hear from you guys. So yeah, as you said, we do have us a packed week this week. Going ahead and recapping NFL Week 6 action. We had some great games. I would say the number one game, though, that everybody was watching and everybody had circled was the Bills at the Chiefs. I mean, you had arguably the two best quarterbacks in this game. You had Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and you had good receivers on one end. I mean, if you want to call Travis Kelce a receiver, I think most people actually do.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? And Juju, I mean, shout out to Juju. Real respect for Juju Smith-Schuster, because that guy, nobody was giving him any love coming in. Whenever Tyreek Hill had left, they were like, oh, they just went and got Juju. Like, oh, okay. You know, no, it goes to show you whenever you give that guy a quarterback, he can get open and he can make plays. He had 5 catches, folks, for 113 yards and a touchdown against that Buffalo Bills secondary. So the Buffalo Bills play some pretty stout defense. But on the other side of the ball, though, you had Stephon Diggs, who absolutely was just getting open at will. His little classic, little quick 5-yard catches and then another 10 yards after the run. I mean, the dude is just so smooth in how he gets in and out of his cuts. I mean, Josh Allen, 27 for 40, 329 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. And this is where it killed the Chiefs. The Chiefs couldn't overcome the 2 picks that Patrick Mahomes had.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
that was the story of this game. When you have 2 of the best teams in the NFL going up against each other, you got to be able to take advantage of the other team's mistakes. And I feel like the Buffalo Bills did that in this contest. What's your thoughts on it, Corey?
Nah, no doubt, man. You know, that's the great equalizer in sports is turnovers. You know, a lot of games, the story can be told about turnovers. And Josh Allen, 3 TDs, 0 turnovers. But on the other hand, like you said, Patrick Mahomes, the 2 INTs, that's basically where the game was set apart. Bills were able to take the ball away those 2 times, and they didn't give anything away. That's huge on the road, especially when you're playing in Arrowhead. And it definitely came down to that last drive because the Chiefs had a 20-17 lead. Allen throws that ball to Dawson Knox with about 104 left on the clock. They go up by 4, and that was a wrap.
That was big. That was such a big play, too, because nobody was anticipating that dude to get the ball, and he got the ball, and he scored a touchdown. I promise you I wasn't thinking Knox on that play when I was watching.
No, not when you got Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs out there, too.
Come on. Yeah, like what? Or Josh Allen just running the dang thing. You never know. So, but no, it was, man, that was an amazing game. It really, really was. So, the thing I was going to point out, though, this is the type of game that is going to be like an AFC Championship game, because we both expect both of these teams to be knocking on that door to go to the Super Bowl this year out of the AFC. This is a difference of them playing in Buffalo as opposed to Arrowhead.
Oh, huge. You talking about seeding implications? Yeah. Basically, the Bills have a 2-game lead on them right now.
And Josh Allen in a snowy game in Buffalo would scare the living hell out of me.
Gosh.
Because that dude is like the ultimate, like, he's a freaking gamer. He just gets.
People don't understand the home field advantage that they have in Buffalo at Ralph Wilson Stadium.
Oh, that's scary.
Bro, it's one of the hardest places to play. You're talking about being dropped off on a different part of Earth and not knowing where you're at. With a bunch of crazy people. The Bills Mafia is what they call them. That's not where you want to be in late January in a playoff game. I'm telling you, bro.
No. I'm glad my Vikings are over in the NFC. We don't have to deal like nothing like that crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy as it gets over there. I'd say it's Lambeau Field. And as we're going to talk about here in just a little bit, the Packers ain't got it this year. So is there anything else you want to touch on this Bills and the Chiefs game? I think we kind of covered everything there.
Yep.
The next game that I want to bring up, I would say, was game number 2 on the docket. The Cowboys at the Eagles on Sunday Night Football. And
I think we both picked the Eagles in this one, didn't we?
And fly, Eagles, fly. Just to recap on the last game, I picked the Chiefs and you picked the Bills. So you're up 1-0 and it's 2-1 right now as far as those respective as the picks from last week. So, yeah, the Eagles, man, they basically came out and they showed their dominance. And can we all say that Cooper Rush played like Cooper Rush was anticipated to play?
Yeah, finally.
I think that it's like, okay, Dak's coming back now. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff. So 3 interceptions against that Philadelphia Eagles. That defense, dude, that secondary.
That D-line too, man.
The whole defense. And they are a very humble football team.
Yeah, you don't hear a lot of trash talk coming out that camp at all. They're very respectful of their opponents. And
that's because of their one leader, Jalen Hurts at quarterback. That's probably one of the most humble football players I have ever seen. I mean, his time at OU that year, I remember his interviews. Dude was never satisfied. I mean, just never, always wanting to work harder, always wanting to grind. And it shows. It shows. I mean, Jalen Hurts just, against a great defense, they neutralized Micah Parsons. They showed how to beat a bad pass rusher or a bad dude like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They basically, they made him guess, am I going to cover this guy or am I going to blitz? And when that started showing a weakness in his game. And best believe teams, it's on film now, guys.
Yeah,
it's on film.
It's a copycat league. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you look at the Cowboys' upcoming schedule, they got some dudes that can neutralize that. So I'm just saying I like what the Eagles did here. They look like a very smart football team, a very well-developed football team, and they arguably have one of the best leaders at quarterback position this season, not overall because there's other guys on other teams. But this season, Jalen Hurts is just that dude.
Yeah.
He is. And he didn't have gaudy numbers.
No.
I mean, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's a beautiful thing in life when you know who you are, right? And you're not searching for what you are, what you're trying to become. They know, like he said, they know exactly who they are. They play to their strengths. Jalen Hurts is not the best passer in the world, but he has awesome legs and awesome intangibles. And so they figure out an offense where he can accentuate both of those and kind of shine in that space. And it's definitely having AJ Brown now. That was a huge pickup, bro.
Dude,
Devontae Smith's coming on. Man, the weapons they have 2 of the best. They probably have one of the best running back combos that nobody's talking about between Kenneth Gainwell and Miles Sanders. I mean, you can go up and down the list. They got the best offensive line in football.
Yeah.
So you have one of the best premier corners, or top 3 corner in the league, in Darius Slay. You have Gardner Johnson over there, who just signed over from Slay. I'm sorry,
it's Slay. Not Darius. It's Slay.
Yeah, my bad. And then they got Gardner Johnson from the Saints. I mean, they still got Cox up there on the D line. Brandon Graham, they got all of these guys who just make plays, man. So,
and if you look at their schedule, Corey,
It's
Look,
an
I
easy
mean,
schedule.
have you
I've
looked?
seen it. Yeah, it's an easy schedule. You go down the line. Tell
I
me
mean,
where they're
Mike,
gonna lose the game.
You got the Steelers, that's a dub.
That's a dub.
You got at the Texans, that's a dub.
Dub.
The Commanders, that's a dub.
Dub.
At the Colts, that's a sneaky team. That's a sneaky team as far as like somebody, they beat the Chiefs earlier in the season. I will still give Philly the advantage there. It's not at Philly though; it's at Indianapolis. If it was at Philly, I'd say dub.
I still say dub.
Okay, we're going dub there. Packers at home.
Dub.
Titans home.
Dub.
At the Giants.
Ooh, that's a tricky one. Giants are 5-1.
Because the
You know what I mean?
Giants
And it's a
look good
divisional
right
opponent. And it's a divisional opponent. So I mean,
Loss.
we'll
That's
call it
their
a loss.
first
Give 'em a
loss. That's
Give
their
'em a
first loss.
It's loss.
My
Yeah.
gosh, they'd be freaking 13-1 or something at that point. Like, my gosh. At the Cowboys with Dak Prescott back.
Let's just give them a loss just to say they lose. But, you know, they can.
So they
very
lose
easily
2 in
win
a
that
row.
game.
So they're going to drop
Yeah.
2 in a row. But guess what? Then they got the Bears.
Dub. So you're
And then-
talking about being like 14-3 or something.
14-2. 14-2.
Yeah, and they still be the 1 seed.
No. Actually, they'd be 12-2 at that point, and then they'd have the Saints and the Giants to close out the season. Both
I'd
at
probably
home.
say both of those would be wins at home.
Both at home.
Yeah.
They're going to close it out 14-2, be the 1 seed. I mean, unless this next game that I wanted to touch on, which was the Vikings at the Dolphins. I mean, it wasn't the flashy game that everybody's going to look at. You're not going to sit there and look at the stats and be like, oh my gosh, this guy. I mean, Justin Jefferson went over 100 yards, if I'm not mistaken, again. He's just proving why he's still the best receiver, or he is the best receiver in the game, hands down. Kirk Cousins, 20 for 30, 175 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. At first, this game, it started off very, very slow for the Vikings. But on the flip side, their defense played very, very well. Now, granted, it was to Skylar Thompson, the rookie, until he hurt his thumb early in the first quarter, if I'm not mistaken. And then they replaced him with Teddy Bridgewater. So we were able to get a lot of pressure on Teddy Bridgewater. We were able to sack him a lot. We got 2 picks off of him. We made Waddle fumble the ball. The Vikings defense came up big in this victory. Tyreek Hill went absolutely nuts.
He did.
12 for 177. But here's the thing, folks. He had 0 touchdowns. We did not let him get in the end zone. And then Gesicki, somebody needs to tell that man, don't go in the end zone and mock Justin Jefferson like that ever again in your life, dude. Don't you do that. Mike Gesicki does not get to do that. So
he took it overboard too.
That was
across the whole end zone.
Even his whole coach, if people go back and watch the highlights of that, his own coach was sitting on the sideline like, bro, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't you do that. You waking up a giant over there. So, no, go ahead. I want to get your takes on this game. What do you think about it?
I was actually kind of surprised it was a game in the fourth quarter, but I shouldn't have been because you just look at the weapons that the Dolphins have between Waddle, Hill, and Gesicki.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have been surprised. And Teddy Bridgewater is a very capable quarterback. So
he can get it. He can get him the ball.
Tyreek had 12 receptions. Waddle had 6 for 129.
Big fumble, though.
Yeah, big fumble.
Ooh.
Yes. I just think they turned the ball over too much. And we talked about that, earlier in the episode. Turnovers are the great equalizer. But, they went on the road against a very tough opponent. That Miami team is no slouch. And some would even say if Tua plays this game, do the Dolphins actually win it? I don't think so, but you know what I mean?
It definitely would have been more interesting.
Yeah.
Tua's a better quarterback than Teddy Bridgewater and Skylar Thompson.
Right.
When healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's facts.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying? So they've really been going downhill since Tua got hurt. So I was happy, though, that my Vikings picked this win up. I mean, they basically controlled the game from start to finish. Zadarius Smith was a heck of a pickup for us in the offseason. I'll stand on the table all day. That was probably the single biggest thing for our defense this offseason.
Would he have 2 more sacks?
Yeah, dude, that dude's a monster. When he gets going, I mean, I love it because whenever he played for the Packers, which is the game we're about to talk about after this, he used to freaking make me cry. He used to destroy Kirk Cousins, like for real. Our offensive line had zero shot at blocking that dude. So I'm glad that he's wearing the purple on our side now. Is there anything else you want to touch on this game before we move on to the next one?
No, we Gucci.
All right, then, man. This next game, we got the Jets at the Packers.
Did we call this one?
The Jets are 4-2. Yes, we did. We both picked the Jets to win this game, and we both picked it correctly. I mean, the Jets, Breece Hall, dude, that dude out of Iowa State. I mean, I knew he was gonna be a baller. I kind of was like one of those. It's like everybody, you go to the Jets to die. Like, there's not much success out of the Jets, but credit to them, man. I mean, Sauce Gardner over there at corner, locking down. I mean, Breece Hall, 20 carries, 116 yards, and a touchdown. Zach Wilson, the ultimate game manager. I mean, he doesn't make a mistake. It's what you want out of the guy. You know what I'm saying? And their defense, they got a D-line, folks. And they have a secondary. So that's a recipe for success in the National Football League. And there's a reason that they're 4-2. And kind of like we said about the Kansas Jayhawks in college football, this ain't your daddy's Jets. These Jets are coming to play this year, and those draft picks are starting to pay off with good coaching. So what's your take on this game? And I absolutely love that the Packers lost. And by the way, for all you Packer fans out there, you guys are in second place by like 2 games plus 3 because we got the tiebreaker on y'all right now. So, yeah, y'all
way to rub it in. I like it.
Skull Nation over here, baby, all day, every day. So go ahead.
Man, I love watching this one. There's a coach when I used to play for the Lions that said it's nothing better than beating Green Bay on Lambeau Field. He says it's like the best place to win a game in the National Football League. And you can tell, man, when this game was over, how stunned their fans were, the looks on their faces. It was awesome to see Aaron Rodgers running around, trying to figure out what the hell to do. I mean, he was 26 for 41, 246 for the touchdown. Zach Wilson, like you said, was steady Eddie, 10 for 18, 110 yards, didn't make any mistakes, no touchdowns, but no interceptions as well. Breece Hall was an absolute monster. And that D-line with Quentin Williams, the kid out of Alabama, he's starting to become one of those premier defensive tackles in the league, just wrecking shop. Dude had 4 sacks. No, not 4 sacks, 2 sacks. He had 4 sacks 2 weeks ago. C.J. Mosley looks like the old C.J. Mosley. Man, there's not enough you could say about the Jets right now in that second year with Robert Saleh, the head coach. That dude, just watching him on the sideline fly around, the enthusiasm that he has for his players and what they're doing, man, it's pretty cool, man. It's another one of those things I always say when there's certain teams that are good, it's good for the sport. When the New York Jets are good, it's definitely good for the NFL, man. So I hope they keep it going, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't got no ill will against the New York Jets, you know what I'm saying? But I do against the Green Bay Packers. So anytime a team smacks the Packers, I freaking love it, dude. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he got his bread and everything. But go ahead, keep going on that Pat McAfee show and talking about all your successes that you're not having this season. So that's all I got to take on that one. This next game that we got, it was the Ravens at the Giants. Is it time to actually stand up now on the table and give the Giants their due respect? Do they get their flowers and their roses, Corey?
I think didn't I pick them to win this one? I think I picked the Giants to win this game.
I believe you did, and I picked the Ravens.
Hey, yeah, so I saw this coming, bro. The Giants, you don't get to 4-1, well, now 5-1, without knowing how to win some football games, bro. And the thing I love about the Giants, most of their wins are comeback wins. They just never give up on the game. Well, a lot of teams will just kind of pack it in. They never give up. That defense, they did something that most defenses do not do against the Ravens, which is blitz the ever living bejesus out of Lamar Jackson, and he had trouble handling that. Even when they found success and they hit some big shots, they still kept blitzing Lamar Jackson, made him unsettled, made him look uneasy, and then at the end of the game, it just got to be too much for him. And they won at the very end. So big ups to the Giants, man. I love with Saquon Barkley being healthy now. That team is like, you don't need to have Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes go out there and do too much. You just hand the ball off to Saquon, and he's going to get it done for you. So I love what the Jets are as a team.
You mean the Giants?
I mean the Giants. I'm sorry. New York teams, man.
I threw you off going 2 back-to-back New York teams. I apologize. I'm sorry about that. But no, the Saquon Barkley, though, man, that's another thing. Whenever you talk about the Jets being good for the league, man, it's good to have a Saquon Barkley in the league. You know what I'm saying? Dude, he's got the tree trunks. I mean, he looks like a dang Earl Campbell, like one of those bruiser backs that can just pound the defense. And he gets hurt a lot, though. I think he actually got hurt in this game, too, again, and gutted it out, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he came back.
So I mean, it's just like, yeah, that's 2 weeks in a row now. I mean, them New York Giant fans are freaking nervous. I promise you that every time that dude goes down. So I like it, though. But something to point on as well, and then we'll go on to this next one. Thibodeau, Lawrence, and Leonard Williams on that defensive front for the New York Giants. Dude, they have been the absolute game wrecker.
Man. They
absolutely have, like you pointed out, blitzing Lamar Jackson. There's not many teams that have done that, but it's on tape now, guys. So if you got dominant pass rushers, so we'll move on from that, though. This next game, it was the Monday night game. It was the Broncos at the Chargers. I believe Russell Wilson got hurt in this game. It went to overtime. The Chargers ended up sneaking out of this game. I mean, that AFC West, man, we came into the season and we were calling that absolutely the best division in football, hands down. Nobody's touching them. And they've beat up on themselves, to be honest with you. But the Chargers are sitting there at 4-2 right now. The Chiefs losing to the Bills helped my division pick in this one. So I like that. They're kind of tied up there except for the tiebreaker. But, I mean, there's not really a whole lot to talk about. Justin Herbert was throwing the ball a lot. He had 57 attempts.
Yeah.
He only completed 37 of them, though. I mean, they didn't look – their run game was non-existent. Credit to the Denver defense. Denver does have a defense. Their defense is stout. They can play good football.
Level defense,
they just don't. Russell Wilson, man, is just not that guy anymore.
God, man.
I mean, it's
amazing how bad that contract is right now when you think about it, and how smart Pete Carroll is. We've been saying this for episodes now. Every time I see him on TV, it looks worse and worse and worse, bro. It just does. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know where to go with the ball. He can't decipher a defense. They were blitzing him, bro, and he didn't know where the free blitzes were coming from. And I got on Kyler Murray about that a while back, about not knowing where your free blitzes are coming for so you can throw a hot. He doesn't even know that. This is a dude who's played in 2 Super Bowls and has been in the league forever.
Yeah.
These are elementary things if you've been in the league that long playing quarterback. And he just does not look like he knows what the hell is going on. Nathaniel Hackett, he's in over his head. He'll be fired as a head coach by the end of the year. I firmly believe that because he sucks at head coaching. Just go back to being a coordinator. He's not good.
Gosh.
They're just in a bad spot, bro. And they're wasting a championship-level defense.
They are. They really, really are. And the thing is you can't say it's from lack of weapons. They have receivers.
No, they have
you know what I'm
good
saying?
receivers.
Like,
yeah. Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy.
Hey, I'm going to say this right now, and I'm going to sound biased when I say this. But if the Broncos had Kirk Cousins right now, they would be a better football team than what they are right now.
Heck yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I say that in regards to all the national media, everybody. They don't give Kirk Cousins any kind of love. Now, granted, he lost the one game this year. He lost was on Monday night, and it always comes down to primetime games for Kirk to see if he can pull through. But overall, dude, I mean, we're 5-1 right now, and they're saying that the Cowboys are better and all these teams, and we're going to hop into the power rankings here, so I think this is a great topic to start those off. But they don't give my Vikings any love, man. They just don't. And all my Vikings keep doing – they don't give the Vikings any love, and they don't give the Jets any love. They give the Giants and the Cowboys all the love, though.
I don't know. I've seen some people give the Vikings love. I don't know. I'd have to look at more power rankings from other people. But everything that I've seen had the Vikings being the top 5, in the top 5 of some power rankings.
As
no
they
worse
should
than like
be.
6.
They should be up top 5, though. If you have them at the top 5, you're just an idiot and you don't know what you're talking about.
Look, you're wanting respect for Kirk Cousins. Respect is earned a lot of times, not just given.
It is.
So you guys are going to have to get into a big spot this year where it's either a primetime game or a playoff game, and he's going to have to absolutely ball out and just shut people up. That's just the cold, hard, honest truth to that.
I see it. I see the future.
You're picking it up. It's hitting.
Something's gonna happen. Watch out.
Oh man. I'll tell you this: when you've been disrespected that many times, it might fuel Kirk Cousins to do something special. So
got to. I mean, this is his best start he's had ever.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last team Kirk Cousins was on that started 5-1. Nope. I can't. And this is probably his best team he's ever been on too. Like from top to bottom roster wise.
Hell yeah.
I mean, so we'll see. We'll see, folks. Still a lot of football left going into our bye week. Knocking on wood, we've escaped the injury goat. So we haven't gotten hit with the injury bug this year, and I hope it continues that way. So going into our power rankings, man, I'm going to jump this one off. I'm going to give you my top 10 teams. My number 1 team, they're 6-0. They have not been beaten. They just had a big primetime win again. I got the Philadelphia Eagles to me. It's a close second, though, with the Buffalo Bills because what the Bills did going in there to Arrowhead and coming out with that win, I think that was absolutely huge. Number 3, though, my Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to throw them up there in the top 3. I think being 5-1 matters. I think winning matters. They're 3-0 in their division against the teams they've played. They've beaten the teams that have been on their schedule -1, so I'll take them. The Chiefs are at a close number 4, though. Most people would probably argue with me and put them over the Vikings because they just lost to the Bills. But they also have a bad loss on their resume in the Indianapolis Colts. So I'm not going to let that one sleep. And the Vikings don't have a bad loss like that on their resume. So the 5th team, though, is the New York Giants. That's where I got them sitting right now. And then I got number 6, I got the New York Jets. I could flip-flop those. People can argue with me, and that's okay. But again, it comes down to the wins and the losses. The Giants are 5-1. The Jets are 4-2. Number 7, I'm going to have the Dallas Cowboys. I think that they looked good. I think if they could have had a Dak Prescott in that game as opposed to a Cooper Rush, I'm not saying they would have won, but it would have been a heck of a lot more interesting, I think, over there in Philly. The number 8 team I got here is the LA Chargers. Being 4-2, going through that schedule that they've played so far, you got to give them props where props are due. They're right there on that fringe, though, of being in or out, though. Number 9 team, I got the Baltimore Ravens. They lost a close game to the New York Giants. I mean, the Giants are not a sleeper team anymore, folks. Let's wake up. Number 10, this one was tough. I tossed a few teams in my mind on this one, but I came down to the San Francisco 49ers because at the end of the day, I think the San Francisco 49ers are going to be right there, whether it's a wild card team. That division that they're in is completely wide open. I mean, there's no telling. So the 49ers are my 10th team. What do you got this week, Corey?
All right, number one, I got the Buffalo Bills at 5-1. Number two, I got the Philadelphia Eagles at 6-0. Number three, the Kansas City Chiefs coming off a tough loss to the Bills. Number four, I got your Minnesota Vikings at 5-1. It could have easily put them number three like you did and had the Chiefs four. But I just think if those two teams played today, I'd give the edge to the Chiefs. At number five, I got the 5-1 Giants. Number six, the 4-2 Cowboys. Even though they did lose to the Eagles, I mean, it was a 17-20 game late into the fourth quarter. Number seven, the San Diego Chargers at 4-2. Number eight, the Cincinnati Bengals at 4-2. Number nine, the New York Jets at 4-2. All three of those teams I could have put in any kind of order. It's just kind of, if I had to put one of those teams against the other, I think the Chargers would beat both the Bengals and the Jets. And I think the Bengals will beat the Jets right now. And then at number 10, this is a toss-up. I had to go strictly off what I've seen in common head-to-head opponents. I got the Falcons right now at number 10. I almost put the 49ers, but the Falcons literally just played the 49ers this weekend. And the Falcons beat the 49ers 28-14 head-to-head. So with that being said, the Falcons being 3-3 and the 49ers being 3-3, the fact that they just played each other this past Sunday and the Falcons beat them by 2 touchdowns, I got to go with the Falcons.
I absolutely forgot all about the Cincinnati Bengals sitting at 4-2, man.
Yeah.
I blew that one. So good top 10 that you had there. In the top 4, we were all the same. Same teams, just different order, jumbling them up.
Yeah.
Everything else. You're not giving my Vikings any love either, just like the national media. So I absolutely
got them at 4.
Fuel.
4. Out of 32 teams, I put them at 4. You're mad that I didn't put them at 3?
We should be 3. We should be number 3 right now.
What's that gonna do for y'all's confidence? Oh, you should be number 3, not number 4.
It's not gonna do anything but make it better.
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
They're sitting over there.
Y'all play the Chiefs on a neutral field right now. Do y'all beat the Chiefs?
Maybe. I'm not saying we can't. Why can't we?
Who would you put your money on? I'll put my money on the Chiefs. I'm just saying.
Yeah, duh. Because they got Patrick Mahomes. But
that's what I'm saying.
What time is the game? Is it a primetime game?
Yeah, it's a primetime game. It's like the Super Bowl. It's the
Chiefs will blow us out. The Chiefs will blow us out.
Okay, then.
We're going to get smoked. We're going to get smoked on. No, actually, man, you know what? I would give the Vikings more of a chance than what people would think, though. I'm not saying – I don't know. They ain't got Tyreek Hill no more, so I'd give us more of a puncher's chance than if they did have Tyreek Hill. Because I think that's been a difference this year in the Chiefs. That was the difference in them and the Bills. 100%.
Oh, playmaker, yeah.
They don't have a dude that can spread out the defense like what Tyreek could. They don't have that dude.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm not hating on them. They still have Patrick Mahomes. But they ain't got that. I mean, Nicole Hardman.
Facts. They're still pretty good without him, though. You know,
they are, but they're not Super Bowl. They're not going to win the Super Bowl without him. I think the Bills stepped another notch above the Chiefs just this last weekend. Like I said, man, that's going to come down to who's playing in Arrowhead or if we're playing in Buffalo in the AFC Championship game. That's big.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I know those AFC teams don't want to go over there through Buffalo. I can tell you that.
Hell no. Nobody up there. I'm telling you, nobody wants to be there in January, dog. That's not a place you want to be.
Man, the NFL right now is in a great place. They got a bunch of good young stars. I mean, there's a bunch of good young quarterbacks, bunch of good corners. I mean, there is a bunch of good teams, and it has been good, highly competitive. There's not really been many like blowouts. If you go look at the scores, there's not teams just dusting teams by 30, 40 points. It's not happening.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
and there's been some pleasant surprises, too. Teams you wouldn't even thought about being good.
There's a lot of parity in the NFL right now, and it's good for TV, and it's great for ratings, and it's good for guys like me and you that like to talk about this kind of stuff. So, Is there anything else you want to touch on this week that I missed?
No, man, it was not a great week. Other than I beat you this week record wise. I think finally I got me a dub.
You did get me this week, so hey, man, that's all right. Light shines on the dog's ass every once in a while, right? So we'll roll from there. We're going to be coming back to you guys recording again tomorrow night, and then the next guy's going to be dropping. So stay tuned. NBA season talk is right around the corner. We're going to give you our player rankings. We're going to give you our conference top 8 on each side who we think is going to make it to the playoffs. We're going to, of course, talk about a little bit of Lakers and then the Celtics, which the Celtics look way better than my Lakers right now, dog. It's
scary, yeah.
We need to trade Russell Westbrook right now, please. Put the 2 firsts in there. Do whatever you have to do. Get him out of there. He's got to go. He's got to go.
Find you a sucker GM, man. You got to find one sucker team that'll take that.
We got to go get some shooters, man. Somebody. We don't have anybody that can shoot the ball.
Yeah, LeBron acknowledged that too after the game last night.
Oh,
he just came out and said it. He was
know.
"We're not constructed. We don't have lasers." That's what he said.
That one hurt. So yeah, but we'll leave all that talk for the NBA talk tomorrow night whenever we record that show. But I just wanted to give a little nugget out there for the fans. So, as always, guys, this is the House Divided podcast coming to you with the NFL recap for Week 6. This is B Hill. That's my boy Corey. And we signed on in, and now we're going to sign on out, guys. Peace to all y'all out there.
Peace.